John Smith was in his early 40s when he arrived. He was short, he had a pot belly, and a big scruffy red beard. And as for Pocahontas, in the movie she was pretty much a Powhatan Indian Barbie doll, but in history she was 10 years old when the settlers arrived. She was just a Powhatan kid, and as such she had all her hair shaved off, because Powhatan children didn't have any hair in their heads, so they wouldn't get bugs in it. And also Powhatan children usually didn't wear clothing during the summertime, because, as you know, it gets hot around here. So you have the no hair, no clothes 10-year-old Pocahontas, and the 40-some-year-old short, pot-bellied, scruffy red beard John Smith. And what's more is that we really don't know how much interaction they had. If they did have any interaction at all, it was limited, because any stories of that come up a good while after they supposedly took place. And the whole romance that Disney made up, we know that never happened. However, Pocahontas did eventually marry a guy named John, but his last name wasn't Smith. Rolfe. That's right. John Rolfe was the fellow she married. And the way that happened is in 1613, the settlers kidnapped, got married, and she eventually went back with John Rolfe over to England, where unfortunately she died in her early 20s. So although Disney made up a bunch of the details, Disney was accurate that John Smith and Pocahontas were real people. Now when Jamestown started off, it started off with only men and boys. There were no women in the colony until 1619, that's 12 years after the colony was founded. With one exception, 2 women came over in 1609, 2 years after it started. But in 1690, that's when the first major ship of women came across the ocean. And it was about 60-some women, and within 1 week they were all married off. That's when Jamestown was more of a settlement. At first it started off as a port, because remember, they were invading Spanish territory when they came over here. So the Spanish never gave them any trouble at all. Disease, starvation, and housing gave them lots of problems. So it wasn't until 1690 that Jamestown was considered a failing environment for families to be established. And then the town of Jamestown really grew up. It was the capital of Virginia, which at that time stretched pretty much from one coast to the other, and from here to Ohio. Virginia was pretty much everything. So it was the capital of all that area, all the way until 1698, when it burned down for the 4th time, and they moved the capital of England to Williamsburg.
Looking at you.
Well, what we're looking for is the white head of the white body that's curving down past against the dark green background. Like that one right there. If you look off to the left, you'll see that highest point in the tree. The highest tree. Take a diagonal line down to the point of that highest tree, about 30 feet to the right into the tree. You'll see the silhouette and white head of the adult bald eagle staring right out at us. Everyone see that?
No.
It just looks behind the leaves, so it's a little difficult to see. But look again at the highest tree off to our left. Draw a diagonal line down about 30 feet. And if you can't see it, that's all right, because there's another one coming up in just a second. Up ahead of us, you'll notice some rubble on the rock wall. And if you look at that rubble, look straight above it about 40 feet, and you'll see the bright white head the sun's reflecting off of. Yep. Does everyone see that one?
See that one.
There you go. That one's a little more easy to see. We're all over this place, but sometimes you have to have keen eyes to see them. So everyone see that eagle? Now, judging by the size, that is probably also a female. The adult bald eagles hunt by sight from the shoreline. They'll stay motionless in the trees for hours, just moving their head, scanning the water with their eyes to find a fish. And that's one way to conserve energy. When a bald eagle is active, when it's soaring around the sky all day long, sometimes they need to eat up to about twice their body weight in food to survive. And that's one reason that the young ones starve to death. There's only about a 40% survival rate among young bald eagles, in part because of that. the young eagles will oftentimes just soar around the sky all day looking for their food, not taking the wise advice of the older eagles and staying perched while searching. There's another bald eagle up to our left. Everyone sees this one directly off the side. Look ahead, and you'll see where the rock wall ends. And a pine tree behind the rock wall, 2/3 of the way up on the right-hand side, there's another large bald eagle, and that one is most likely a male. Compare him to the size of a female off to the left. That female is sitting about 40 inches tall, whereas that male is a little bit less. Is that what you got? Now at this time during the summer, all of the young ones have left the nest. They're in the nest for 12 weeks, and that's after 12 weeks they're full size. They're out of the nest. They do come back time to time begging for food, kind of like college students coming home for the summer. I know all about that. But but as for now, all the young eagles are out of the nest, but they're still around the island, and they'll be around the island all summer long as the adult eagles kind of teach them how to fish. But by the end of the summer, the young ones are on their own. The adults will shun them away from the nest, and they have to go make their own way through life. And I guess all of you are wondering why on earth is a large crane and some barges up ahead of us in the middle of a bald eagle sanctuary. Well, those are the guys hired by the Army Corps of Engineers to rebuild the seawall around the island. Remember how Jamestown has lost quite a bit due to erosion? Well, they're trying to prevent that by building up the wall to preserve the history that still remains.
You want the camcorder?
What?
Are you getting a plan here?
Yeah, when we get up there.
What did Josh ask you?
Let's get now. There's a crane coming up here. Let's go get a picture of it.
We just got the comment that this young gentleman is surprised we don't have guys digging clams around here. Well, we actually used to dig clams ourselves in the boat. However, unfortunately, the fisheries aren't doing that well, so we can no longer dig up the clams. There is a lot of marine life underneath us, but it's not doing nearly as well as it was when the settlers arrived. The diaries of the early colonists who came over here sound like they have to be humongous exaggerations, because they describe oyster beds like sticking out at the top of the river at low tide that were so thick, and some of the creeks being almost impassable because of the number of fish that would flood through them. These days, the James River is still home to quite a bit of wildlife, but the numbers are certainly down. And one thing that's always impressed me about the bald eagles is that they're fantastic flyers. Remember when you saw that young one back there? There's that tree ahead of the boat. Off on the left side is a bald eagle perched up there. And you'll get another good view of the nest as we pass by this short, dark green cedar tree nearby. That's a young one. You got that size 12 feet. They grow real fast.
I got it. Okay, there's the nest.
I can't see beans.
There's so many trees, it's hard to reference the right tree. Plus, I'm on low battery. So I got to keep turning mine off in between.
What, baby? What am I missing?
There it is.
You got it?
Yeah.
I was just trying to show us an eagle somewhere.
From Captain Bill's car. I'm not really sure how that got in there. Captain Bill, I'll just put this in the back for you. All right, let's see what else we can put in this box that might be a little more legitimate. All right, want to reach in there, see what you can get? Ah, that's good. That's not an automobile part. That's actually a bone. But you two have to figure out what kind of bone that is. Now hold that up in the air so everyone else can see it. What? Sorry, if you thought I said foam, I said bone. Yeah, say bone with a B. And it came from pretty much the largest creature in the ocean. What's that? Largest creature in the ocean.
The ocean.
A whale. Yeah, a whale is the largest creature in the ocean, and that's a whale bone. And it's actually part of a whale's backbone, or vertebrae, and that whale bone is found over there on the other side of the river. Now, where do whales swim? Down in the ocean, right? Yeah. But that whale bone was found on the other side of the river. So what does that tell us that this area used to be?
Part of the
Yeah, this area used to be part of the ocean. About 12 million years ago, an ocean covered this whole area. And in the ocean, that whale swam around it. So I'm going to pass that around with everyone to both see it. You want to try something else? All right, what's on the top of that? What do you see inside? Yeah, you've got a couple of teeth in there. Now those are not people teeth, but there's someone on this boat that has lots of those teeth in his mouth. What are they? Yeah, those are fossilized alligator teeth. Now, we only have one alligator in the James River today, and that's Wally in the tank. Alligators don't come this far north anymore. But if you go back 11